Hello, my name is Gabriel Ndaikon of the Charity Medical Foundation, founder and chairman. Today is week 13. I'll be talking about God man, and we as the God man are the creator of our own reality and responsible from the effect that are caused by the reality that we created. And I'll try to define it in a very glomicologic approach using glomicology concept and also some supernatural thing that have to do with theology, and also I'll close this with the promotion of my new advertisement, my agency, my organization, and how I am intending to promote all the program that I'm intending to use in the future. I am an open person in terms of belief. I believe in the freedom of religion, and I have um, open mind for all religion. Either it's Judaism, Christianity, or uh, Islam, or Buddhism, or any other religion. Therefore, without further ado, bonjour, good morning, guten Morgen out there, buongiorno, buenos dias, shalom, salam, and everybody, welcome to listen to this new weekly address. Now, what is God man? I'll be tackling two different issues here, conscious and subconscious, to find a correlation with that. But let me say something to you guys. Everything that I'm saying here is exclusively in correlation with the promotion of my organization, my agency. Whatever I do, whatever I work for, this is something that I'm intending to do for now and in the future to enhance programs that I already put in place. Must be implemented. I'm emphasizing a model in which I believe should be very well to fit everything that I am intending to do in a very, very good and positive manner. So let's start. What is God man? Like I explained in my previous presentation, I have mentioned and illustrate very clearly um, the manifestation of our inner spirit and our correlation with the intelligence of the cosmos, the divine intelligence. That's why I'm going to start calling it, because it's more understandable saying divine. The Holy Spirit, divine intelligence. That's the intelligence, the infinite intelligence that I'm talking on my equation. That I'm talking about the maximum power, the infinite intelligence, and the maximum knowledge. That is that intelligence I'm talking about, the Holy Spirit that people are talking about, the divine being from the supernatural, the Word of God. So we have that inner ability and inner spirit. So if you unleash the power within, what I call unleash the power within you, you can achieve great stuff. And many people have achieved great stuff that we're using today. We're talking about people like Platons that came up with some philosophical concept. Socrates came up with physical concept. Pythagoras, Thales de Milet, all those mathematicians that came before us. Also in the new millennium, you're talking about Einstein, you're talking about Ampere, Voltaire, all those um, uh, scientists and researchers mathematicians, engineers, um, that Tesla, you know. So and many more. You can talk about Steve Jobs, and you can talk about um, Bill Gates, and in terms of creativity. Those are people who find the inner ability and unleash the power within themselves. The power within is what is giving. That's the inner spirit. That's your soul. That's the inner intelligence that is linked to the infinite intelligence, the intelligence of the cosmos, the divine intelligence, the infinite uh, 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 um, uh, knowledge out there. That is the source of all creation. That's what the God that we're talking about. That's what he used to do his work, and all other people working under his hierarchy. So we are the God men because we possess that ability, not to be uh, 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 as God, but to be and have an ability to achieve great stuff that we cannot imagine. So when you tap to that inner ability and discover and unleash your power within, you are tapping to your subconscious. Now, we are in a conscious mode. Our conscious mode is what is linked directly to our brain, the way we think, straightforward. That conscience is impure. That conscience is distracted by our environment. It's distracted by our social way of living. It's distracted by many things. It moves us away from focus. Compared to our subconscious, which is the true and the truth of everything, because it's directly linked to the infinite intelligence. The is linked to the intelligence of the universe, of the cosmos. Pretty much the Holy Spirit, if you want to call it that way. So that conscience is the pure conscience. That's the subconscious. And he knows everything, and he always gonna tell you the truth because he knows everything. Now, our conscience is what we use the most. Emotional, physical, and many other things. So we go with it. So, but when you have that ability to tackle that subconscious, you're getting in touch to your inner self and release that power within you to start becoming a creative thinker, integrated thinker, having great imagination and start creating. But it will require a lot of focus and a lot of sacrifices. It means that you're going to have to live a life in which you might not be able to interact a lot and be more focused, because it does need tranquility and focus to achieve those stuff. Releasing the power within you, you becoming God man. When the Bible say we were created in the image of God, that's what it's saying. Because we possess that power within us. We have that power that we can use to achieve good stuff. We have the resolve within us. We have the solution within us. Now, when you have problems, you don't have solutions. Problems are undiscovered solutions. And I said that before. Now you have to tackle into your subconscious. But to reach your subconscious is not too easy, but it's there. When I say it's not easy, because we are very um, we are very focused with and distracted with our environment and our social life. So we don't have a focus when we use our conscience to realize big stuff. There is no any realization, no realization that came, into this earth from a simplistic thinker. You mean that using only our conscience? No. Every one of those folks have used the subconscious to create what we saw today. That intelligence comes straight from the intelligence of the cosmos and the intelligence of the divine intelligence. You have to integrate your intelligence within you and transform that integration to a creative imagination and creative thinking, for you to come up with a solution that will change, that will revolutionize the world and change the life of other people. That's what I call God man. You know, because we are God man. It's within you. Okay, all solution is within us that we can solve. So why we don't always comprehend it? Because we are the creator of our own imagination, our own reality. What do I mean by reality code? Reality is the way our conscience interfere with our subconscious when we don't know it. The way we look, the conscience, we don't tap our conscience, that little voice, and then we have to achieve something, and then it end up to be that we want to go with our conscience, what come from our own thinking, which is always impure, because it does have parameters. Those parameters are not pure parameters. Those parameters are combined with the effect and the influence of the environment that we're living in, and we sometimes have to corrupt our own conscience to make a decision, sometimes without knowing, sometimes knowing, so because we have to survive or we have to get something done. But when you tap into your subconscious, anything that will come out of it will always going to be pure truth, complete pure truth, without any lie, without nothing, a complete pure truth. It's a different kind of teaching now to find how to get in touch with your subconscious. It is a supernatural. Is you have to use some divine law and divine method to study methods to get there. Those are stuff that God wanted us in the beginning to know, because that is one of the reasons why we were created, to use that advantage. Because people who believe in angel, that's how angel communicate with you, by communicating, waiting for you to tap into your subconscious, and then now you can communicate, right? So if they love you most, they can appear to you, depending on what the mission is. But most of the time they don't do it, right? They want you to understand that you are God man. You are You have all the resolve within you. You have all the solution within you. You just have to find it. That's what it is. So what I mean by creating our own reality, the entire world, the division, the differences, the war, all these things come from our own creativity of reality. Either it's nation, start with men, and then go to nation. That's what it is. When we use our conscience, that conscience is already purified. From what? From variable factors, from the environment that we live in, the social interaction, environmental interaction, self thinking, and self egocentricity that bound together and make us derive a decision that is not really pure, and that's what causes a lot of trouble in the entire world. And that's what, despite the fact that we are all different, but that difference that we have don't have to differentiate our way of thinking. We can still think very well by by focusing and tapping that subconscious and come up with a good idea. So what I say when I go back to subconscious, that's what I said last time, we are all the same, because the power within is the same for every single one of us, because that power have the same denominator. That denominator is the cosmic intelligence, the divine intelligence, the infinite intelligence. That intelligence is what is called in the Bible the Holy Spirit, which is directly linked to the higher power in the entire cosmos, which is the great Yahweh and Jesus Christ and any other person within his hierarchy. So that power within, which is the inner intelligence that we have from our subconscious, is the same for all of us, regardless your race, your religion, your gender, and your way of thinking is the same. In a stage of subconscious, but in a stage of consciousness, that's where we become different, because in that sense the manifestation of our humanistic criteria start laying out, and the egocentricity that we have within us start getting manifest, and therefore the shortage of any outcome start becoming different. But the reason why it is the case, because we don't know the truth. But when we tap to our subconscious, we will all know the truth. Therefore, we will all conclude at the same point, because the truth is only unique. There's not two truths, there's only one truth. There's always one truth. So, creating our own reality, that's what is happening. That's the origin of all problems we have on earth. That's where we have differences. That's where we have many things that goes on. Creating our own reality. The concept in which we all believe in that we can be very smart than any other person. It does have to do with awareness, and understanding. So, for those who think that there is no life after death, whatever they're thinking, it's all good because that's their belief, which is alright. Unless you start experimenting it, you can't know about it. But the thing is this: is that there can't be any life without the inner spirit. That convinces you now. It is linked within our genes. So, if they remove your spirit, you don't have any life. Pretty much, you are dead. What is the molecules that generate the heat within our body? Coming from our heart. Our heart is the center of many things. That's why the Bible say, when Jesus Christ said to certain people that the kingdom of God is within you, and he was looking at your heart, because that's where all the energy comes from. That's where you have the linkage between your humanistic form and your spiritual form. And that's where the energy is changed. And that's where you have the exchange between both entity that live within you. So the energy generated from that inner spirit, when there's a discontinuation between both, that the energy is not anymore produced, your heart stops, very much your spirit gonna leave your body, because he will not receive any more that bound and that energy coming directly from your heart. You see, so you're gonna leave. But so there is a life after you leave this earth. But in fact, you are just doing a journey here. I'm working in one equation that would determine the life expectancy of human being on earth. And I just found out it will be a sequential equation. It will be a form of time series equation. Every single year it will go 1 year plus. It did start at the year 2000, the new millennium. Or before even that. But for this millennium, that's the equation that will work into the next one. I'm still working on it. At this point of now, if you take, and that's also recorded, this is copyright, so no one can use it for creation or whatever. You take the last 2 digits of every single person in this earth, the last 2 digits of the birth year for every single person in this earth, regardless. Regardless the month, just use the years, don't just the month, and you add to that 2 digit the age of the person. It will be equal to 113. Last year it was equal to 112. The year, like in 2014, it will be 114. So the maximum life expectancy for any human being in this earth in average is 113 at this point. You will find people who average really close. If you really you want to do approximation, by approximation, you can do by approximation and get there, but really most people are going to reach like 110, the max. But I'm talking about average, and it's even very tough because there's few people who live above 110. So that equation is also getting through. Next year it will increase year after year, year after year. But in the long run, it doesn't really make a big difference, because every single year you're getting 1 year plus. So like me, I was born in 1979. If I take 79, I can even find my age right away. I just have to do 113 minus 79. It's 34. I don't even have to calculate too much, because that's the max. And next year will be the same thing. Next year you do 114, because you're getting 1 year, so you're adding 1 year. Everybody's getting 1 year, it's adding 1 year. So the equation that I was working on was those who are born before after 2000. But I also find the solution for that equation, because when I was using the 2 digit of 2000, I was getting maximum 12. It's impossible, because when you're born, you have to grow, all right, and reach that age of 113. So the person who was born in 1999, you just have to do 113 minus 1999. That give you 14. The other person is 14. But if a person is born in 2000, it's the same. 2000 is like the threshold. You just have to take 0, 0. It means you take 0, 0 plus 13, it gives you 13. The person is 13. So we are doing a journey here. That's not it's not hazard. It's not a coincidence. There's no way every single person in this planet, you take his last single year of birth in our millennium and add it up to his year, it gives you an exact number. That's not a coincidence. It's a journey, the time. All right. So for those who think that there's no life after this, they have to think again. But I'm a very realistic guy. That's what I'm talking about, God man. That you have the capability not to be dreaming about the afterlife, but about the reality that you're living here on earth, and you have to fulfill the reality and live very well. Okay, so you live very well, you eat good food, if you have the money, you live your life very well in accordance to God, with respect to God will. Mean that you can have all the beautiful women you want, driving all the big cars, but you have to follow God's path and God's way, in order for you to find a great resolve to your problem. Because when you start you start having problems, difficulties that we all have. The only person that can save you from those problems are the intelligence of the cosmos, are the divine intelligence, because he does knows everything. That intelligence knows everything. No one else knows that intelligence. Anybody who works with that intelligence will always going to tell you the truth. Either it's a psyche or medium, with the permission of the divine being, the great Yahweh. So that's why it's very important for people to realize that the talent that we have is within us. We are the solution of all our problems. We are the solutions. God man. We are the macroscopic way of God. We represent him in a very smaller scale. You tap into your inner ability. That's what Jesus Christ have done. I do believe that the Bible is true. When you go to the desert for 40 days without eating, nothing, what he was doing, Jesus Christ, what he was doing, he was tapping with his inner self. He was tapping to get in contact with the intelligence of the cosmos that will lead him to the divine being. That's what you have done. That's why Jesus Christ have done 40 days in desert. That was him tapping his inner self, unleashing the power within. And that's the reason why when he tapped it, and then depend, if you become more focused and more pure, you reach a very high level. And that's why Jesus Christ, people were wondering that why he was not answering nothing, because he knew the truth. He was communicating with the energy within us, because he reached that level. And he knew the truth. He didn't have time to respond, because he knew exactly what was the end, the answer. If you know the answer of something, you don't gonna ask the question unless you wanted to waste time. He already knew the answer, so he was quiet. He already knew what gonna happen, so he didn't have time to. He didn't have to answer those questions or to respond to those questions. God within. That's why Jesus Christ have proven. When you read that Bible, that's what the Bible is proving you. You have that ability. And I was telling you, you go to the desert 40 days, you will find a good manifestation of what I'm talking about here, if you can do it. I'm not talking about faking, going there and, I'm talking about real. You go there with no food, you go there with no cell phone, nothing. Alright? So that's the reason why God have sent Jesus in a human flesh, so he can show us an example on how to know him. You will know God in terms of difficulties. Those who find God in in a way of no difficulty are those that their parent have seed something for them long time before they came on earth. I mean, the parents have prepared a way, have understood the will of God, where the people of God, they prepare the way for the kid, for the kid. Because when you give that to God, to Yahweh, it's for generation. Remember what God said to Solomon, right? He said to Solomon that I will leave you with two tribes, not because of you, but because of your father. You know? So if it was only for him, he should have lost all the 12 tribes. To that man that he spent all his time persecuting for power, you know, rather than focusing on solving the real problems. He was more distracted by power. So that's what happened. You know, but you cannot discover the great Yahweh just the way I'm seeing people doing. Yes, you have to go to church. You have to read your Bible sometime, or every day if you want. You have to boost your faith. But your faith will not reach a real essence or real level if you don't believe on the unknown, that you're suffering and you don't have any avenue than trusting on something that you don't see. You don't reach that level. You don't know God. Trusting on something that you don't see and that you don't even think that it will happen is how you will find a way. So I'm not trying to discourage people not to pray God or whatever, or go to church. But I'm just saying that in a certain extent, this world will go more worse than what we see today. Lucifer will come very hard. He will give everything he got. It means that he will create more antichrist that will come and battle company like my company that have a mission to work for the willing and the mission, work under the willingness and the mission of God. He will create people that have intelligence that you have never seen. Those people will be people, flesh and blood, like us. They will use people who are going to sell their soul to him. So it will be tough. Don't think that it will be easy. It will be more tougher than what we see today. So that's the reason why we must learn how to tap our subconscious, because that's what's going to help us to identify, to communicate with the divine. Long term, things will be more worse. It will be easy, because Lucifer will not go down like that. He will try to give everything he got, and trust me, compared to God, he cannot beat, but he have power too. It's not, you know, that's why divine creation is infinite. See, that's the thing about it. Divine creation is infinite. So the power that they gave you sometime is a infinite power, but in terms of the creation with God itself, he decided that no, he don't want to go and fight after somebody that he created. So he's gonna give him time. That's what I talk about, the 666. The time that we have here on earth, um, not the cosmic time, the time that we have here on earth. The cosmic time is very holy, because that's a divine time. um, when you have coincidence with that kind of time, you're a very lucky person. So that's the thing. We have a tendency of neglecting stuff, thinking that stuff will be more better and easy and easy. We will have more technology, people will live less and less, and people will be more materialistic more and more. Open on East. There even will be less people who gonna believe in a great Yahweh in the long run. See? So that's why my company is coming in place. I didn't know exactly what it was, but now I understand with the divine inspiration what it is. Things will be getting worse. Company like my company like that will be working to decrease that, at least taking some of the people, creating good stuff, um, with the willingness of God, bringing people on board for innovative and creativity. At the same time, teach them to learn the path either to any religion that believe in the great Yahweh and the energy of the cosmos, to battle Lucifer. That's what it is. So that's why I want people to know that I understand the Bible very well. I understand many religions very well, because I do understand the supernatural. I do understand uh, what it is. People can read all chapter in the Bible. I can explain that to them very well. But I don't read it too much, right? It's just a divine inspiration. It's just something that somebody knows, right? So when people believe that in the eyes of God nothing things are impossible, everything is possible. You are God, man. You have the capability of living the life of Jesus, of even becoming Jesus if you want. But it will take a lot of courage and a lot of sacrifices that we don't have today. No, we don't have it. But it's the reason why God sent him in flesh and blood. That's why God sent him like that way, because he wants us to see the ability that we have. When you communicate, you get in touch with the intelligence, the infinite intelligence, the divine intelligence. You can do a lot of stuff, like what Jesus Christ was doing, marching above the sea, doing miracle, multiplying food and changing water to wine. Those are divine work that necessity code. What verb can you use for that to happen? What is the level of the spirit that they granted you access to such a thing? that require work, and that came from um, the 40 the 40 day that he have done on in the desert. So that's what it is. I want to illustrate something more better for everyone, saying that it is very easy for people to believe that everything that can be said here is just a matter of just try to sell an idea, but it's not. I am very sincere here. My organization have a place in this coming world, because the Antichrist will be coming, and there will be few and few people believing, um, and it will be tough. Why it will be that way? Because inequality and the distribution of wealth and time might become more tougher and tougher, and material become the fantasy that everybody should believe in, and that would be the point that everybody would like to follow. And it's not because you don't see something that you believe or you can believe that it does not exist. Seeing the unseen. God does stuff with the unseen. He does seen stuff from unseen stuff. The divine intelligence, the intelligence of the cosmos, the infinite intelligence. That's why I gave my equation. When I put my equation of the knowledge, the divine intelligence is the intelligence that have everything that we can see today, creation, and it's only partial. It's not even close to everything that knowledge had. You're talking about a knowledge that is possessed by God itself. You know, the intelligence of the cosmos. You have people coming with all kind of criteria: singers, sportmen, martial law, all those stuff, scientists, engineer, mathematician, all this. Those are characteristic of just very small portion of that infinite intelligence. But they are the main one, because within that, everything that we see today can be created or was created or were created. And from there, it can only be innovation and relative creation through relativity. I believe that you know what I mean. Creation by relativity. It means that you create something in accordance to what have existed before that. See? So let's tackle a little bit about the enhancement of some of the program that I have from organization. I'll talk about research, education, sport, culture, music, art, spirituality, when I'll be link a lot of bits of the global ecology, the study of metaphysics and the absolute power, infinite energy, the maximum knowledge, the divine intelligence, the infinite intelligence, the intelligence of the cosmos, which is called in the Bible the divine, the Holy Spirit, that does the work. It's the invisible that does the work. So this is true. I want people to realize this. We are God men. At the end, we are responsible for our own destiny, and the blessing will come from there because it was already given to us. It's within us. That's what I explained earlier in my earlier uh, uh, presentation. I said this: when you were born, your characteristic, your spirit was given to you during the time of conception. Now, by the time you you came into this world, you're stamped with the energy that was generated in the position of or the planet, the living galaxies. That energy define the characteristics of each individual person in this earth. That determine what you will be, good or bad. So now, when I link it now to we are the creator of our own reality, what I mean by that, your reality can come out good or bad, depending on how you make a decision. So at the end, you are responsible for your own destiny. You have to work harder to achieve that reality. I wanted to become president, I wanted to become secretary, I wanted to become this. All those folks have talked about this in their subconscious before it happened. Because when you think about it from your inner conscience, because it's directly linked to the infinite intelligence, the message go through and reach your prayer and reach whatever you pray in your mind. Either you praying directly to God, or you praying to Jesus Christ, or you praying to Abraham, whatever, or Mary, whatever people are doing. It stay there. So now if that prayer go along with the position of your divine blessing that happened during your time of birth, you might be granted to that which, because for some reason it happened to be that there's a similarity with what you asked for. It's your inner spirit, your subconscious tapping your mind that can't wait you for what is already there existing. It knows everything. So now with a lot of work and hard work, you get there. You know? So that's the reason why I'm saying to folks, do not believe that thing happen by mistake, or thing happen just to happen. Difficulties as well as success are all parts of that reality. You go in that reality, you become greater, you work more harder. That's where that energy come into place. You becoming deterministic in what you do, and then you making sure that everything that you want to do is actually well understood by yourself. The desire to become whatever you wanted to become in a certain extent but you have to tap to that subconscious accordingly. We have to get out of that bicameral mode of thinking. I mean, mysticism every single time that attract negative energy rather than positive energy. Mm. What you might endure today might be a manifestation of what happened prior today. Maybe without you knowing that, because spoken straight from your heart, which is the real connectivity with the the infinite intelligence, it might have an impact in that proceeding and start manifesting, and you might be wondering what happened, because you might call it in your life sometime. You probably call it sometime before in your life that I don't want this to, I don't want to become this, maybe by anger or something like that. You say something, stuff like that, you know. Helping those people that will come up with the organization will be a very good thing. Giving to those that you don't know have a blessing of an exponential faculty that you can ever imagine. Because we always want to give to those that we know so they can come back later on. But when you give to those that you don't know, you multiplying that blessing, that seed 1 billion times, or even 1 trillion times. But that's what I'm saying to all those folks out there listening, the folks who wanted to come forward and be part of this change. They can well do so. They just have to um, trust. Believe on the unknown. Believe on the unknown. You know, um, the power on earth should be respected, but should not be above the power of God. You are the president, or you have billion or trillions. Money is an energy. All right, it's a force, an energy force that is used as a form of exchange. Form of exchange. That's what money is. I mean, um, I'm a very humble person. You'll be surprised. I can speak what I speak today and have money tomorrow the way I want it, and with the blessing of God, and start living a different kind of life. No, I would not like people to respect me because I have money. I want people to respect me because of who I am. All right. I want people to respect me because of who I am, not because I have money. Let me say something to you. I have a story for you. Very, very funny story. Not very funny, but very real. It's somebody that I knew. All right. He was a businessman, very young, talent guy, good looking, have all the women in the world. Um, his wealth was about half of a billion of the money that of the country that he was in. Um, so one day he was with an investor, and he saw a man that was dressed very simple with even clothes that have a hole on it, and that man was like a driver of the investor. The investor were Westerns, mixed white and black, but you know. So when he saw the man with clothes with hole on it, he thought this was a joke. Maybe it was if they were trying to frame him or something. And he decided not to even talk to that man. And the man was requesting him to talk to him, and even investor were requesting him to talk to the man. And I mean, I can talk to somebody. I mean, what are you gonna give me? I mean, what does he have? Or why do you want me to talk to him? I come here to talk to you. You guys are wearing suit. You guys have what I need. Good, you know. So he was talking to those investors, and the man left. He was the driver, right? He brought investors, and the investors stayed with the guy that I knew. The guy said, "Well, we are invited today somewhere. The person that we are invited to is very linked to the power of the country. I mean, the person who lead the country is linked to that person. And we are invited there today. You want to come?" I say, "Yes, let's go." When he came, do you know who he found who was hosting that event? You can imagine. It was the driver, the person with the clothes with hole on it. He was the person hosting the event. The house that person have, the protocol that he have, he was a different man, wearing a different form of suit. The guy came, he was ashamed to even get close. But this is what the wise man said to him. "Don't be afraid, man. Just come." It's a learning lesson for you young folks, you know, who always want to materialize people by what you see. That have changed the life of that man that I know. He changed his life, that he understood that you do not judge the people by what you see, because what you see is not always what defines the truth. What you see is not always what defines the truth. The unseen is always powerful than what we see. So the unseen is always going to surprise you. You cannot imagine that the person who's grabbing your investor is actually the person who's holding the money that you're looking for. Very funny, striking story. You're neglecting the person who's driving because they have a close with hole on it, but he's the one holding the money that you're looking for. When I say holding, I'm not talking about holding the case. I'm talking about holding the signature to release the funds. And it's actually the person who invited those investors to come in. So at any time he can say to them, "Don't sign any contract with that man. He disrespected me." But instead he didn't do that. He just gave him a lesson that you know, next time be very careful of what you see, because what you see is not always a great revelation of the truth. might be an parents to test you. So that's what I'm saying that to folks that I will not change my way of living. I will always be humble because I don't believe in. I love to live great, but I don't believe in try to show people visual stuff that will not progress, will not advance me. I believe in the invisible. What people don't know is what is more powerful. And that's why those presidents today they're using, they came up very hard, very secretive, and at the time that you know them, you're surprised. That's how you build strength and become a great person, a great leader. And it's always true that the person who make the most noise is always the most troubling person. Because when you reach the level, let me give you a level. Let me give you a sense here. When you reach the level of Carlos Slim, all right. Let's take an example of Carlos Slim, the most richest person in the world. The guy is living to his old house with all his kids on it. It becomes a state of mind. What do I cannot have that somebody would think that I can have or I can't have? He live in the same house, restricted small with all his kids. That's when you realize that when you have that money and realize that as of tomorrow I can live in an ice field of gold. So at the end I don't really need it. So you don't need to make noise. Those who make noise are those who are lacking knowledge and they are lacking understanding of what they're holding. You might be seeing Carlos Slim somewhere. You might not even recognize him, or you might see Bill Gates. Okay, people already meet him, in the store, so they know who he is. But you might see him very simple. You might not even recognize him because when you reach that certain level, you don't have to prove anything anymore. Is what you possess that is unseen is what matters to you. Let me say this: when Bill Gates sit like this and realize that he's creating something that will change something and make him even more greater, that's what's matter to him. I can assure you that. When Carlos Slim is sleeping out there thinking he have made a good investment that is unknown and seen by people, that's what matter to him. Not to grab big car. Trust me, that's what matter. But when you don't have none, you have to try to show the people that you're something when actually you're not. And that's why we're living today in the kind of world that is unfortunate. So I will not change my way of living. It will be very much the same. I don't do stuff to prove something. I do stuff to satisfy myself and make sure that I stay my true self. My true self. Try to release reject all that negative energy around me. To purify my consciousness, my state of consciousness in a certain level. Even though that I can purify my consciousness in completely, you know, because that impurification is what make us do mistake in our consciousness stage. It's very simple, and that's the truth. I have asked to all the people out there. I have all the business partners that I'm dealing with very recently. Um, I am reviving and remaking and reworking and repolishing, as well as redetermining all the past relationship that I have with some partners, some people that have contacted before, that have rejected the proposal because of the situation that existed back then. I believe that it's a different course now, a different avenue that thing can go, and that we can actually assess in a more different trend, a more progressive trend that can produce something more greater for the future and for the well-being of all humankind. So it will be very necessary for me to emphasize my main ideology uh, in order for those programs to be implemented accordingly. Um, like I say again, 4/5 will be to run the program, and 1/5 will be to make the payments with the donation that I can receive from the partners. If God bless, it's already did blessed. So to get those programs move forward, um, regardless of my position in the society, it will be a business that will run to define the will of God, and as well as prepare the way for the return of Jesus Christ in um, in years, a millennium to come. So just a lot of trust from people. Your investment can be worth. Um, you know exactly what it is. Your investment can be worth. You just have to accommodate well. You just have to make sure that you you give what comes straight from your heart, and that will be a seed that will give you more. It's a blessing. It's a blessing. My connectivity with the divine intelligence is quick. You know, the reason why I say that we are God man, because we are the one to determine, we are the one to solve our own problems. Okay? If that was not the case, I believe that I'm alive and I'm well in my level at this point, and that I can assure you that there's nothing that have protected me than that divine power from all the negativity that happened to me and keep happening, the headlism, all this stuff. All right, I am well determined to work more harder. I'm well determined to make sure that I have what I need to move forward, to run those programs. In research, I'll be working to cure diseases, um, research in that, pharmaceutical too. um, that will help in community health. Music find talents, but when people discover through spirituality and global ecology concept, they understand their subconscious, they enter and they found the power within to start integrating and become integrated thinkers that will enhance, again, enhance that creative thinking that exists within, and start doing good stuff for society, good stuff for the society. That's what it is. I know what sure that all those folks are watching me. Your contribution and your partnership will be welcome. This is a work of God, of Yahweh itself. Yahweh itself to make a preparation for the incoming of the Antichrist in the future. More company like this will do better, will create a platform, and the Antichrist will get destroyed. And certainly, it will be very hard, exclusively if people don't support it. You wanted to support, make an impact, and join the change. Join the change to a healthy world we need. An unhealthy world is a world that do not have any future. All right. Everything that we do, if we don't have health, we can do it. Either singing, dancing, whatever we do, giving a speech or um, giving a presentation, whatever we do, we don't have a health, we can do it. It will be tough, it will be difficult. I am empowering, with the blessing of God, women to join the club. That will be called the Charity Women Initiative, that will come through to bring up an avenue for women to be part of this change, um, to be part of this leading change. So it will be something great, you know. So I'm giving more opportunity to women to do that. Charity Women Initiative. So it will be a very good thing that I'm putting on. Um, that would enhance. That was the divine inspiration to contact most of the women out there to bring them on board and get the ideology how to implement all those programs that arrange a lot of money to run all those programs around. Equitable treatment to everybody, including the poor, exclusively the poor. I have an experience because I live a life of poor. I live with poor. I was in shelter. I was a homeless guy. So I know what I'm talking about. I'm not somebody who won't reach or start just want to talk and make people happy and listen. I have experienced that manifestation. So when I say to Richmond today, you give me your million, I'll make it become a billion. I know what I mean. You give me your penny today, I'll make it a dime. because my suffering and my difficulties have made me understand a lot of principle in life. You learn how to live with what you got. That's such a skill that you build without knowing. But those are skills that come from difficulties. That's the reason why you see when you see the Jews today, they are they know how to get money because they're 40 years in desert. How are they going to survive? They have to think more twice how to use their wealth, how to use what they got so that they can survive. They can protect the nation and the tribe for a very long time for the future. So they have to learn all those tactics and rationality of that. In fact, rationality is become a problem when we start tapping our conscience, because that consciousness, the stage of consciousness, is what bring rationality and irrationality way of thinking. Resonance, but when you tap to your subconscious, you can start reasoning well because you know the truth. And when you know the truth, it saves you time, energy, and time of self-reflect. That's what it is. So I am calling to everyone out there to come forward, to make this a successful mission, not only to everyone out there, but exclusively for the poor, exclusively for people who are needed. Equitable life for everyone, better treatment for everyone. We can have a non-profit be involved in many programs. I already know there are money out there, but those money are going to certain company already, and that might not be the change because those companies are doing the same thing. But if you have funding from company like my company that are coming into with new ideology, new thinking, that can bring a difference, that can make a difference. I am open to all religions. Any religion that believe in God, I'm open to those religions because I'm here for progress. I'm not here for religion or gender or belief. As long as you believe in a great Yahweh, even through Jesus Christ and whatever affiliate person that is linked to his hierarchy over there. Right. So it's important. Come enjoy the change. Come enjoy the change. Is the best manifestation that you know that you have invested your money or your dime in something that matter, that will change somebody's life, and change the destiny of a nation and even more the entire world. Will bring a plus. I am very dedicated to live that kind of life, to follow what I just say, it will not be a change, no change at all. It will be as stated to run those programs, enhance music, enhance skills to art, enhance skill to sport, to enhance skill to research, enhance skill to fight against community health disparity, to enhance spiritual studies, and people to know thing about it, because it will create enable in awareness, and the level of understanding that will lead us to our subconscious to think more better and have a more efficient and realistic result to what we're looking for. And to battle what our fear, we battle our fear, the mismanagement of negative energy, negative thinking, mismanagement. And remember, like someone say, danger is real, but fear to that danger become an option. Either you fight it, either you don't. So you create your own reality. Your own reality is two options at that point. You have fear in front of you. Either you resist to that fear, you create a reality, or either you desist to that fear and you create another reality. And every reality causes another reality, and that reality causes another reality, so it becomes like a time series thing. Episode over episode over episode, every single day in time. So the Charity Medical Foundation is dedicated to change people's life and pursuit the philosophy of the great Yahweh for years to come, and the difficulty we as human beings will be facing. We, the people of this planet, will be facing a lot of difficulties. It's time for us to work together to bring ideas like mine on the table and work in partnership with people, with other organizations that are promoting the same form of ideology. All right. So, without any further ado, we will be talking next week, and maybe not, depending on the program that I have. It will be several programs in time. I'll be doing this maybe bi-weekly, or some maybe every week. It's gonna depend on how important I have the news, but I greatly will appreciate if you guys check every time the website and see what is in there. The information that I'm giving here are very lucrative and then useful. People can use it, and it's very important. The equation of the knowledge that I put in there is a deterministic equation that will help people to boost the faculty of thinking, to enhance their way of apprehending information, and also comprehend how the human brain function. When you start talking about conscious and subconscious. Therefore, without any further ado, I'm calling to all of you, singer, rapper, star, all the star out there, female as male, And as I'm creating this new network, the Charity Women Initiative, to come forward and be part of this new change, through research, community health, promoting art, promoting music, promoting sport, promoting um, spirituality, um, and of course our environment, to make sure that we can live safe for us and for the generation to come. Here in my presentation, I've spoken about God man, the creation of our own reality, and the responsibility that we have, uh, uh, caused by that reality that we created, and many other things that are related to diving our subconscious and, understand and learn how to repel negative energy around our conscience, so at least we can start making a decision that are close to the truth. So therefore, I am requesting everyone to go and check the site, and from there, without any further ado, again for the second time, I would like to say, muchacho amigos, la manana, and auf Wiedersehen, au revoir, and goodbye, applause. God bless, and the great Yahweh bless, and we might see each other next time. Follow up, and then there's more news coming. Do not get crazy about that equation of lifetime. That equation is true, and is a time series equation that I'm still working on, but that's pretty much the concept I gave you. I believe that a 113-year-old is enough for people, for a single person to live into this planet, and to be happy to transition to the next one. So I'm not trying to change anything here. I'm just reminding you of something that existed, that can be used to define the global ecology concept of creation, or existence of the next next life. Thank you very much, and may God bless you all, and may God bless your health and your willingness to understand Him, and find and go from darkness to light, to start comprehending creation, and start rejecting mysticism that do not advance humankind. Thank you.